Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 367. Man, I've missed that. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Matt P. Video. Matt, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's good to have you back properly and not just see your face in a little intro video.
Hey. Never missed a week. It's been 367 weeks and never missed a week. And of course, the one and only, no longer Babyface, Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm gonna trim it again.
No, don't do it. I like it. I like it when you're all bear and grizzly. You look all fucking rugged.
What? You just want me to be an angry old man? Is that what you want it to be?
You are kind of the angry old man of the podcast, if I'm honest. You are. You've got Matt, the posh guy. You've got me, what am I? What was I be under? I don't know. I'm just a bit mental, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not the crazy old guy that used to. Well, not even. I mean, I'm technically old now, but the crazy old guy. Man, I'm the oldest on the podcast.
I think you've always been the oldest on the podcast.
I know, but now I've hit the big 3-0. It's like I'm the actual old guy of the podcast. What? Why are you laughing so much?
Why did Matt say, I think you've always been the oldest guy, as if there could be any other option? For your birthday, like, maybe not, but now you're thinking about it. I think that makes you the oldest, Vince.
I'm just fun of me for saying it. He said it.
I'm just saying, Matt, it was Matt's birthday as well, but we missed that week. I felt really fucking bad, where I'm like, this year was meant to be the year of, like, organization. Get things done, do things better, and in a lot of ways we haven't. In a lot of ways we have. A lot of things have changed. But I saw it was your birthday and I was like, probably should have done something a little bit nicer for Matt's birthday, if we're being honest. And then the mad thing is, I've never skipped my birthday week on the podcast. And I was just like, because I do roleplay now, usually what I would do is I do a big 24, like usually like a 12-hour stream, which I end up doing 14 anyway, but I slot in like, we'll play Jackbox and we'll do this, and then we'll do the podcast midway through it usually. And this year I was just like 14 hours of roleplay, and it was just like, it wasn't the same. I'm not doing that again. Never again. Sorry. If you don't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast. I swear we'll talk about news and games soon. If you want the show early, head over to patreon.com/mcfixer and you can watch us live right now, like the live audience is. Also, go find us on all podcast services. I haven't checked the reviews in ages, so that should be interesting.
We had a look at the US ones last week, and there were no new ones.
Oh, damn. I'll have a look at the UK one in a second. Shout out to our Patreon producers, Mr. Erengard and FNH Paul. So I got on, for those of you who don't know, I got this big birthday message. Oh, wait, you both know. You both know because you're a part of it. Thank you very much for being a part of it. It will go on YouTube this week. I've just been so busy. People want to see my reaction to it, so I'll put it up on YouTube. It was an hour long.
That video was an hour long?
You should
really, hour long.
I don't know if you've done it, but the person you should really thank is Haley.
No, I've thanked Haley. I thanked Haley. Yeah. Haley, let's just put it this way, yeah? Haley, I feel like Haley had like a emotional dump after she gave me the video and I was watching it, because you could tell this was months of planning.
Oh, yeah.
Months and months. Oh, super stressed. Bro, it had Greg Miller. It had Ryan McCaffrey. It had you guys. It had so many celebs. It had so many of my industry friends.
Do not put us in the same echelon as those other people you just mentioned. What are you doing?
No, but it was like, so I'll put it up on my YouTube channel when I get a second. You guys should watch it. I know, like I just said, it's an hour long, but it's shout out to D-Spawn as well, who helped edit it. Shout out to Haley, obviously, who organized it. Shout out to everybody who participated. Watching it, I'm just like, how'd you get that person? How did you get this person? And like a lot of industry friends that you're like, Mike from Outside Xbox was in it as well. It's just like hearing the behind the scenes of it from Haley now as well, where she's like, this happened and then this happened and then that didn't happen and and it was just like, oh yeah, I'd never be able to pull this off. Like, impossible. And you got to remember, I've got all these connections to these people. So I can DM them, I can email them, I can do all this stuff. Haley doesn't have any of that. So she's
Right.
having to be like, "Hi, I'm Haley. I do this for Fixer." Yeah, so it was an interesting one. It was an interesting one. But thank you guys for participating. But what I was saying was we got the face reveal of Erengard during that video, which I was like, this is what this man looks like. How wild. Yeah, I'll put it up. I'll put it up.
I wasn't there live, but yeah.
Do you know?
See that.
It would have. Do you know? I'm not complaining, but I kind of complain about everything. It should have been published on YouTube, and then I reacted it from YouTube.
Yeah.
And it should have just been unlisted. That's what we should have done. But Haley, how would Haley go on my channel without me noticing? And yeah, it was a whole thing. I get it. Topic of the show this week is I'm back, and people might be asking yourself, people might be asking yourself, Fixer, that doesn't really sound like a great topic of the show. But I've got so much to share, and I just want to talk to you guys. I feel like obviously something big happened in my birthday. But something bigger happened on this podcast because I wasn't on it. Like,
hold on.
No, I did the intro, but it was the first time I was just like, yes, because even when I was in America, I still started the podcast and I cut out.
Got you.
It was the first time that I was like, and you know what was funny? It was like, Matt's been trying to do this for ages. Like, just like, Fixer, just let us do it. Like, you're busy, just let us do it. Fixer, just let us do it. And it was weird how, like, for me, I was just like, do you know what? Fuck it. All right. You guys deal with it. You do it.
You know, I feel like there was a part of you that would have been somewhat happy if we failed. Not that you would have wanted it to fail, but then it would never like be a question again. Yeah, it would never be a question like, Fix has got to be here for it.
No, I'll be honest with you. If we want to get all sappy and shit, I'm proud of both of you. Like, it makes me happy seeing you guys. Matt has his own. Chris, you lazy as fuck, bro. If you start streaming, maybe you'll get your own. But Matt has like his own like core My Xbox and Me fans, you know. Like, there's people out there like Team Matt, and I'm like, yo, we can't be letting Matt take over. I want you all to know. Like, I need everybody to understand, yeah? Matt can't take over. This ain't happening. But
here's the thing, though. People will always root for the underdog, and you two bully me, and therefore people are rooting for me, you know?
Bully? That's a strong word.
Wait, bully?
Yeah.
Me and Fix? No.
Never.
I don't. Fix, you think so?
No way. So. Bro, I've never bullied anybody in my life. Should we vote on it? Let's vote on it. Yeah. So we vote. We don't bully Matt. We don't bully Matt? Cool. Vote cleared. Vote cleared. Vote cleared.
If you ever need to explain to somebody in your life what gaslighting is, you just send them this clip.
But on a real though, I was super, super proud of both of you. I've been proud of both of you anyway. You're doing your own reaction stuff. Matt, obviously, you've been starting doing the streams. I know lately you've been a bit more busy, so you've not been able to. Hey, that's life, bro. Trust me. As someone who has now been consistently busy, which I've never been in my life, it's hard. It's hard. And there was, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet that went out the other day from mine and Chris's conversation about like the podcast being a burden was like what I think like we said, and it wasn't. It wasn't ever that we don't like doing the podcast. It was Chris wakes up at stupid o'clock in the morning sometimes to do the podcast. That is a burden. I'm doing 25,000 things, so then to think I need to try and fit an hour podcast in, which usually goes to an hour and a half, and then it puts everything back, and then it's like, oh, now I'm eating dinner at 8 o'clock instead of, and Matt, I'm sure the same thing happens to you, at 8 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock when I want to. Those things are burdens. The podcast itself, when we're doing it and putting it out and creating the content and having the conversations, is never a burden. We love doing this show. You don't do something for nearly 7 years and then like wake up one day and go, oh, I hate this now. No, it's a lot. And that's the one thing I want to commend both of you on, because Chris, you do the show notes now. Matt, you do the thumbnails and you do the live stuff now, and you can produce and all that stuff. Like, you've taken so much off of my plate that it's starting to get to a point where I'm just like, yeah, it feels good. Like, coming in and just being able to go, oh, what's topic of the show? Me going, I don't know, Crash has sorted it. And then even if it's like, there ain't no news, like, we'll figure it out. It's that easy. It's that easy now. So thank you both. I appreciate it. Now, on the other hand, I didn't listen to your episode. I was on holiday. I've got to be honest with you. Didn't care. You know, you guys suck. After all that, you guys suck. Like, how'd it go?
How did get bullied? I feel like we got our own
Very light news week.
Was it bad?
Was super light. It was super light. Discord was the biggest topic.
Yeah, Discord coming to Xbox was the biggest topic, and then we mostly just took user questions because there was plenty of them, and that was good fun.
Yeah.
Good. So, how was it doing a podcast without me? Like fully without me, like just used to on the mic. How did it go?
It wasn't bad. It was good. Here's the thing: like me and Matt have also been doing reaction content, so it wasn't that foreign, and we've done a couple of the streams on my Xbox.
Yeah,
me. It wasn't that different. I just think the only thing that I was noticeable, like while recording and after recording, was I don't think either me or Matt were necessarily. Well, Matt ended up posting it, and I don't think Matt was prepared, nor was I ready for someone not you to be hosting it. Not that Matt did a bad job. It's just I've learned to read your like social cues, like when to go in and all that stuff. That with just me and Matt, that was a little bit off.
Oh,
but that comes with time.
Yep.
Yeah, and also just the function of a 2-person podcast is very different to 3. So it feels more like I'm interviewing Crash, or I'm just like queuing Crash up to talk about this thing, and then I'll talk about it. And it's more like an interview than it is like this is like our kind of chit chat, right? Like
not if you're good at it.
The dynamic is very different.
Not if you're good at it. No. Not that you're not good at it. You're not. You haven't got the rapport yet as a 2-man. Yeah. I think I love this conversation because anybody who's thinking of starting a podcast, there is a skill to podcasting. And let me teach you another thing. There is even more of a skill to podcasting through Discord or whatever software it is that you use. Crash is 100% right. Social cues, knowing when to insert yourself, knowing when to back off on a conversation. Like, it's so hard. And again, I'm such a big personality that it must be really hard to, like, get a word in edgeways. So...
Sometimes it's really difficult to like want to say something and just be like, I can't. And then the time goes by and it's like, can't run back to that topic. That's over. The thought I had is just going to have to die. But it's very unfortunate sometimes.
Unless you're and I'll just extend it forever.
You've got better.
We were talking about 20 minutes ago.
But yeah, so for those reasons that people didn't know, it was my birthday, so I wasn't around. Then Haley surprised me with a trip to Lanzarote. So I went to Lanzarote for 4 days and did nothing. I'm talking eating, drinking, and sleeping. I've never slept on a holiday more than I did this holiday. It was literally wake up, go get breakfast, come back to the hotel room, what Drive to Survive, have a nap. Go out to the pool, lay by the pool, have a nap. Wake up, get in the pool, get out of the pool, have a nap. Go back to the room, watch Drive to Survive, have a nap, go for dinner. It was just 4 days of sleep. And I don't know if you can tell, but I feel so much better. Like, I've got energy again, which I just didn't have. And maybe that'll be gone soon. But right now, the energy is there. And I'm super, super, super happy. But let's get to the main thing. What is going on with Peppa Pig? Because that's the only thing that I got picked up on, like, through the Discord and stuff. I was scanning. I didn't pick up on anything else. But Peppa Pig came up in conversation. So...
2 things. Firstly, you've let us down, Potato Squad, because the thing he should have picked up on was Parappa the Rapper.
Oh, I did. No, that's a lie. I did see that, but I wasn't sure what. To be honest with you, I was like, why would. Okay, where my head went. We're an Xbox podcast. Why the fuck are they talking about Parappa the Rapper, and why am I being tagged on it? Like, what you're muted, Crash.
It was a great in-moment world building, alternate universe building. Yeah. So Orange Cookie Man last week had a question that was if you could pick any 3 video game characters to be you guys in the quote unquote My Xbox V podcast.
Yeah.
Alternate universe.
Okay.
And we agreed that you would be Parappa the Rapper because it's fitting.
That makes sense.
Only that he was done dirty by Xbox or by PlayStation, so he went over to Xbox.
Okay.
So that's what that was, and that was Crash, which is now owned by Xbox, and then I was Marcus Phoenix. So.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Perfectly normal conversation for us to have on the podcast. But the reason Peppa Pig came up was actually perfectly normal reason to. We were talking about whether or like we're seeing a lot of conversation about people canceling Game Pass, and this is I feel like more. And we were saying like, well, look. Game Pass might not be for you right now, but like for some people are parents out there and they want to plonk their kid down in front of Peppa Pig, which came to Game Pass a couple of weeks ago. And that's a big deal for some people, right? It's like Netflix having all these cartoons and games, and it's just such a broad audience. And then Alder Slayer, I think it was, tweeted that he is in exactly that position. Like he sat his kid down in front of Peppa Pig on Game Pass and was like,
nah, Slayer ain't got no kids.
No. It wasn't Alder Slayer. He's the one who asked the question, which was
apologies.
Is Game Pass missing? I forgot the exact wording he used.
See, I love that I know our audience enough.
Big polls?
I know our audience where I'm like, Slayer's got no kids. I know that for a fact. It doesn't matter. Might be. Little Smee. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. He's got 2 kids. Congratulations to Little Smee.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He's just had his second child. So hoping for, obviously, I know there was some stuff going on. So obviously some congratulations there indeed. And my thoughts are with you, and good, it's weird, bro. Everyone's having kids. Ain't it gonna be weird when I have a kid?
Yeah,
that's gonna be weird.
It's gonna be like a little mini fix.
Dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do about like having a kid on camera and all that. I'm so complexed by the conversation that it frustrates. I'm like, I want to show off my bundle of joy. But does my bundle of joy want to be shown off? And like, just because this is what I do for a living, it's a whole thing. It doesn't matter. But yeah, man. What else was I meant to ask? There was something else. Peppa the Rapper was on the list. And obviously Peppa Pig. So does anyone play Peppa Pig though?
No.
Guys, easy Faz and G. Easy Faz and G. Easy Faz and G.
Did you play Peppa Pig?
I haven't played it yet, but I saw the achievement list and I downloaded Peppa Pig. So this will be out. This will be out before, like today. I announced today that I am working with Intel. So I've got a brand new Intel laptop. Hashtag not ad for this, but I am being paid. So take what I say with a pinch of salt. But now I can actually game on the go. Finally. So now I've got Game Pass on my gaming laptop that I can now take with me to work. And so I've downloaded all these games where I'm like, Unpacked. Oh yes, that game's gonna be getting smashed on the train. Like Peppa Pig for a quick, easy 1000G. Oh yes. Like I've got all these games that I'm just like, yes, I can finally have other stuff to talk about on my journeys.
I just imagine you playing Peppa Pig on the train, and then some parents like, "Can you unplug your headphone? My kid's trying to watch."
But hey, get out of here! This game ain't co-op. Move yourself. But yeah, it's So yeah, I've got that coming. So I'm like downloaded all these games, and I'm like, so okay, let's get into what's been in our box, what we've been playing, because I've had Dustfall before the game was out. Started it, was like, okay, I need to like actually sit down and play this the way I play Until Dawn. And so I was like, I'm waiting. And now I've got The Quarry and I have Dustfall. Dustfall? I am saying it cool now, right? As Dustfalls, thank you. I've got those two sitting there. Have either of you played either, and which one do I start? Like, which? Neither of you.
I've played As Dusk Falls.
You don't like it.
I don't think it's a game for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I didn't play a lot, so I'm being very, very open about that. But I played maybe 15 to 20 minutes. The aesthetic of it, the way it was telling its story, immediately it was like, as soon as I started it, honestly, my mind was like, nope, you don't like this game. Stop playing this game. Why are you playing this game? I just kept going because I was like, it'll get to a good part, and I just kept going into it. I'm like, I just don't care. I don't care about this world, this game. It's getting a lot of like good
nines.
Praise. I don't want to say it's a bad game.
I'm seeing 9s, 8 9s, like narratively always I mean, that's where that game lives and dies, is on its narrative. So, like, for me to, I'm hearing it's narratively good. It's like, well, yeah, you bloody hope so. It's a narrative-driven game.
So I don't want to like. It isn't meant to like tear the game down. It just really wasn't for me.
Yeah, bro, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest that it wasn't for you. Like, I started about 10, 20 minutes, and I was like, oh, yes, I'm gonna love this game. Let me get back to this when I've got a big chunk of time. And then I had a surprise holiday. So I was like, okay, no time for that. And Matt, you've not played it yet? That seems like a you and the missus type game.
Yeah, exactly. But we picked up Road 96 just before As Dusk Falls came out, which is phenomenal.
Told you!
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so we want to finish that, and then I think As Dusk Falls will be our next thing. But yes, that's where we're at.
I played Road 96 as well. And I liked it.
Ah!
I was kind of surprised that I liked it. I did not think that me and Matt talked about it last week, and I was like, I've just been avoiding playing it because I keep hearing people say good things about it, but it just seems like another walking sim to me. And I feel like I'm going to play it, and I'm just going to be let down by it.
It is just another walking sim.
Is.
I disagree. I think it's more than that.
Nah.
Why would you say it's more than a walking sim?
Because there's like an element of randomness to it. There's like an objective that you're pushing to, like you're like changing the world. It's not just here's the story, make a decision, and you have no impact.
No, but I think on the
in walking sims as well. No.
Somewhat not to as in depth as Road 96, but I think the way I'm looking at it is mechanically, right? I'm breaking down what the game is. The game, it sounds boring when you say it like this, but the game is you start here, get to here. That's what the game is, and walk through the game. That's what a walking sim is to me. That doesn't mean the game isn't good, because I'm telling you right now, Road 96 is fantastic.
What it does really well is it sets up a lot of questions for you as you're playing and you're meeting characters, and they'll sort of shy away from certain topics or stuff like that, and you're like, oh, I've only done like 24% of this character's story or whatever.
That's the bit that got me. When you
like I did my first playthrough and I completely didn't meet two characters. Like, who are those two characters? I want to meet them now.
It was that moment for me where I walked into the game thinking it was just another walking sim, and then when I ended my first playthrough, being like, wait, what? If I do this again, what happens? And then you do it again, you're like, whoa. Yeah. This ain't the same. This isn't the same. Like, wait a minute. I was expecting to go through again and like, oh, I take a left turn here, and there is Jerry and Billy together. And no, it's like actively builds on the story and makes you want to go and go and go. It actively makes you want the 100% on every single character to know what the hell is going on. I'm so happy you guys liked it, because I remember when I played it when it came out on Steam, and I was like, I spoke about it on the podcast, and I was like, guys, if this game comes to Xbox, you have to play it. And I say the same to the audience now. If you haven't played Road 96 and you enjoy walking sims, I'm talking Firewatch or Gone Home, even like The Walking Dead, stuff like that, play this game 100%.
Yeah.
Does that make the top 10 list this year because it came out on Xbox?
Easy.
Like, no, but I'm saying, like, do we count it? 'Cause it's not a technically.
My Xbox and me.
Yeah.
I think last year we made the decision that those type of games wouldn't be on my Xbox and me's.
I feel like we should.
Somebody from the community can remind us on that.
I feel like we should just do games that release on Xbox are in the list nowadays. Especially looking at my list this year.
Well, personal lists. Personal lists, we can include those.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah,
so personal
list is fine. I'm saying like my Xbox and me's like official list.
That makes sense.
So like if this game is on all three of our top fives, it would be a debate if we want to change that rule for this to then be on the top 5 of Game of the Year.
I got you.
The example from last year was Hades. We didn't.
It was
Hades in the list.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. What else have I been playing? I've been playing Far Cry. Obviously, I work for GTV. They're owned by Ubisoft. Yada yada yada. Been playing Far Cry 5 again, obviously for work. I forgot. When I played that through the first time, I enjoyed it, but it was a little bit too chaotic. Playing it through this time, I'm not sure if they've patched it or something, which I generally don't know. It's way less chaotic and it's way more fun. Like, the story's very interesting, way more interesting than I remember it being. Like, when I'm going through and playing it. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, I like Far Cry games. From 3 onwards, I've enjoyed almost every Far Cry game for what it is. But this one I'm playing and I'm like, I don't remember liking these characters as much as I did this time. And the acting's fantastic. So I've been playing through that, and I finished the first island, being John's Island. I'm now on Faith's Island, and I'm just going through, having a good time, getting distracted, getting cheeseburger and all that stuff. So it's been a good time.
Do you think? Because I remember when we played it for review,
you
finished it, and
that was 6.
That's Far Cry 6.
That was 6.
Oh,
that was 6.
Apologies.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Yeah, that was 6.
Do you think you enjoy it more than Far Cry 6 now that you've revisited it?
Oh, it's a great question.
It's okay if you don't have an answer to that.
I don't know if wait until I finished it.
Okay.
Let me answer that once I'm done, because Far Cry 6 is a good game, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's the be all and end all of Far Cry games. Yeah. It's not free, and everything gets compared to 3 for me. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think I'm enjoying 5 more than I did 6. But I look forward to going back to 6 now again as well. And you got to remember, the way I'm playing these games as well for GTV is it's just a different experience, because I'm playing it with a live chat. I've got the moments are there, and we're having fun and we're joking around. It's just a total different experience than playing it on your own in your bedroom for a review. Like, very, very different. Right. Very, very different. I also tried out Trackmania, which was... I've never played Trackmania Turbo. Pretty much, you remember like... what's the game called? The motorbike one. Bloody hell. Trials Rising. Like those type of games. Trackmania is pretty much that, but for cars. And it's a really good time. I'd never played it before. It's on Game Pass, actually. If you like those type of racing games, like completing tracks in a certain amount of time, trying to get gold in every track. Good game, worth playing. I had a really good time playing it. I played it for about 3 hours and was like, I could see myself playing more of this. So, yeah. What about you guys? What have you been playing, Matt?
I've been playing an embargoed thing, so
I'm
not gonna talk about it. And the only other thing I've been playing on the Razer Kishi still is Power Wash Simulator, because I can't stop.
I downloaded that.
It's meditation, man. It's meditation.
Everybody right now.
Yeah,
it's all about that Power Wash Simulator.
I saw it come to Game Pass, and I was like, I need to play this. This seems.
Should jump in co-op, mate. We should jump in co-op.
Are you playing it on Monday?
I will. If you jump in co-op with me, I will play it on stream Monday. All right. What
time do you start? 7, right?
That game, yeah. To stream that game on my own, I think would be boring as fuck. Like it's just. But with somebody, we could have a laugh and do that.
How many is it? 4 player or is it only 2?
Good question. Don't know.
All right. I'm down. Let's do it. All right, Monday. Remind me.
Okay.
Unless I'm in roleplay and something good's coming, then
jump like 15 minutes before, like, hey man, I'm busy right now.
I'm doing a concert, so.
Power Wash Simulator.
If it's 4 player, you in? Alright, we'll figure it out. See, that sounds good. Crash, what about you? What have you been playing?
First thing, I've been playing games on the new Samsung TV.
Oh, you go on.
My brother got one, so I had an
opportunity
to try it out.
I've got an insert here, yeah? I've known Chris for a really long time.
Yeah.
Chris's brother's fucking minted. I'm telling you lot, yeah? This guy loves tech. This guy loves tech, you know?
My brother is huge into tech. He bought a PlayStation VR and he never used it. He used it like once when he got it, and he hasn't used it since. Like, the box looks brand new. It's in our basement, in our garage right now. So, yeah.
See the layer of dust on this thing? Can you see the layer of dust on this thing?
I don't know what
mine is. Looking for his.
I can't find much.
It's such a pain to set up as well now. I just can't be dealing with PSVR anymore.
The Quest isn't though. Just saying.
No, exactly. And so then PSVR
It's
2,
more
and they're
expensive
like,
now.
guys, only 1K
Not
for
yet,
PSVR
but yeah.
2, and I'm like, you're already done. Anyway. It's not a PlayStation podcast.
So I got to use the Samsung TV and I got to mess around with it. Very easy to use. I have good internet, but my games are loading quick. That's more partly speaking of the service and partly speaking of my internet. I think that goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I played As Dusk Falls on that. I played with a controller. You can connect your controller Bluetooth to it. You can, when you're connecting your controller, it's funny. It also gives you an option for a PS5 controller.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really. Whoa. No, that's actually really huge. Big. Really big.
So if somebody, I was thinking about it after I saw that. If somebody's really into PlayStation, having a Samsung TV is a way to get them into the Xbox ecosystem without moving them away from what they know and what they're comfortable with, which I think is really, really nice.
Does it actually say PlayStation controller, or does it?
Yeah, because you connect it, you go to the option to connect a controller, and it scans for Bluetooth device, and then you have to select what type of device you're doing. No. You select what type of device it's looking for.
Through the TV, not through the Xbox app.
I think it's through the TV. I can't remember exactly.
That's what I'm trying to get here in my head.
Xbox
is like
app. The Xbox app sends you to the TV bit where you connect it.
That's
like
cool.
It all is seamless. So it's not like I get what you're saying, but it doesn't really ever pull you so far away. That's why I can't really remember, because it's like a 2-step process. At a certain point, it does send you to the TV because like you have the TV as opposed to the app. But I can't remember where the PlayStation controller bit pops up. I'd imagine
it'd be the TV.
But I don't really remember.
So it's like if you're doing cloud gaming, right? It comes up with the controller bit. It's like connect a controller. You probably click that. It goes into the Samsung settings. You connect whatever controller you have, and then that's going to show as a PlayStation controller. You go back into the Xbox app. It works. Huh?
Yeah.
Really interesting and cool. Okay.
I didn't try it with the PlayStation controller. I used my Xbox controller.
Yeah.
It is an option. I played As Dusk Falls on that. I played, what was the game you had said you wanted with the little berry people that's sort of like Stardew Valley?
Garden Story. Garden Story. Is that what it is? Yeah, I downloaded it and still haven't started it.
I started that.
Is it good?
I wasn't really feeling it. The thing with that game is I don't know if I wasn't feeling it because I'm so used to playing at my setup. Yeah, I was playing somewhere completely different. It was a bigger TV. I was farther away from the TV. I just wasn't so used to it.
Dude.
So I don't know if that distinction was what stopped me. I also, to test it out, I also played a little bit of Mass Effect. I went to the Mass Effect Legacy and played the first Mass Effect. Fun fact, I'm now replaying the first Mass Effect. I installed it. Yeah. Fun fact. So the service works well. I think it's a cool service. I think as it starts rolling out on TV, I think it's a much more enticing service. Because I could see myself now getting a Samsung TV for my bedroom if I want to play some games before I go to bed or whatever while I'm laying down, as opposed to getting it on my iPhone and buying the Kishi or whatever. I know people are into that. I've never really been into mobile gaming like that. Even with my Switch, I never undock my Switch. My Switch stays docked for the most part.
I took my Switch on holiday with me. I had a 4-hour flight. I decided I don't like handheld gaming. I've decided like the Kishi I can do for like little things. I used to love the fucking PSP, bro. But as I've got older, you're 100% right when it comes to like, I like being in my settings. I like being able to play a game and have Discord up, play a game and watch a YouTube video, play a game and do whatever, listen to music, whatever it is. I've got Strikers I've not even touched. I've got Arceus I've not touched. I've got Snap I haven't touched. I literally played like a couple of rounds of Mario Kart, finished the cups that I had, the 50cc cups that I hadn't done, and was like, I really hate this experience of playing this game in my hand like this.
It feels great.
It doesn't. It's weird. So I'm with you on the whole get a TV. I'm like, And I know you guys are gonna laugh, so I'm not even gonna. The audience, when I move, I will buy a Samsung TV for the bedroom. I think now because of this.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm doing. Me and Emma have been talking about getting a new TV for a while, and it'll probably be Black Friday. We'll probably wait for now, but I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I get the Samsung TV? The messaging around this is interesting, right? I've been looking into it because I'm like, surely the app's going to come to my LG TV soon, right?
Nope.
Well, I don't think it'll be soon, but I think it will happen.
I think eventually, but I think they've got a contract, right? I feel like it's one of those things where it's like,
well, it's a contract, and as far as I'm aware, it's also the way the TVs are built. They're built with the hardware to handle it. Whereas I don't know, there's like stuff internally that goes along with running the app. I don't know if LG TVs, unless they want to put in that money to get an app like that running, if it would work. As far as I'm aware, and I could be completely wrong about that.
Yeah, maybe you're right. We'll see what happens. But
here's my question for you, Crash. Can you see this experience killing consoles? Not right this precise second, but eventually.
No, because there'll always be a PC that's better. There'll always be a console that just works. Because the thing is, like you were talking about before this, about your internet being kind of funky lately.
Yes.
This service wouldn't be working if your internet was funky.
Bro.
If the line outside goes down, like you can't play games. You'd be home without
I can't play games now. Dude, literally, I've realized how this room, there's no internet. It might as well be a prison.
Yeah. So I don't see it unless the world gets like 100% uptime, fantastic internet. I don't see it replacing it. There were times when I was playing Mass Effect that it was a little hiccupy, and there seemed to be like a little bit of lag during cutscenes where stuff would jump around a little bit. So I don't think it's there.
That's just
yet.
EA and Mass Effect.
No, I played it on my console and it didn't shake the same way. I wish that was the case. I wish I could just say EA being the bad guy, but unfortunately not. But I could see it becoming much more prominent and a lot more enticing. I think it really depends on the library of Game Pass, because I think that'll be very, very enticing for this feature, and B, how well Xbox can market this to the general public who know about games and can see a game and be like, I want to play that game, but then convince them like, you don't need to play this on your console. You can start playing this on your TV and make that become a regular habit. I think that's the harder thing with this whole thing.
Allow me to fight you from the other side of the fence, because I think, whilst I agree it might not kill consoles, I think eventually, and I'm not talking that long, it will become the primary way 95% of people play.
95's too high. Like
convenience will always win. Yes, there are people who have their Blu-ray player and they buy their 4K Blu-rays, but there are so many more people watching Amazon Prime and Netflix, and that's all this is. We're just 10 years back.
I think, but there's more availability in an Amazon Prime or Netflix. It's not just about convenience.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you want to, like, if you're talking about a Blu-ray, it's like, okay, now you have to go to the store. A lot of stuff don't come out on Blu-ray. There's a lot of exclusive stuff. Like, you'd have to be saying that, okay, well now cloud gaming is going to get exclusive games that Xbox doesn't have on console. Because you have to remember, the reason people went to Netflix is because of Stranger Things. Stranger Things 1 and 2, I think, was on Blu-ray, but I don't think the newer stuff has been on Blu-ray. A lot of this stuff doesn't end up on DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. So you'd have to be saying, like, okay, well, Xbox is going to make exclusive stuff for the cloud, and I just don't see something like that happening.
I don't see something like that happening either, but like you said, you can hook your PlayStation controller up to this thing now. And so if you never intend on buying the Xbox, but you want to play Starfield, this is the way you're going to do it with your DualSense.
Yeah, but that's not.
But then,
I agree, but that's not 95%, right?
Yeah.
And I agree. And PlayStation would need to pull their ass out their finger out their ass and like sort out their cloud streaming service for this to be adopted in the way I'm saying, like 95% of people, and maybe they never will do that. But I think that's the way it will go. Like, convenience will always win, and me not having to download the game and
I agree with you. Convenience will always win. There's a lack of convenience when your internet goes down and you're like, I just want to play a game right now, and you have no internet, or your internet ISPs aren't great. Sometimes they 100%. Just will stop providing service for you, and you're like, well, I can't play games right now. That is an inconvenience, and probably a bigger inconvenience than just buying a console. So I do think that some people will try and do what you're saying, but I think they will come to a point where it's like, okay, this is stupid. I'm just going to buy a console.
I think it's the casual audience that I agree with you on the 90. I'd probably say like 60%, more than 95. It's the CODs and the FIFAs, and the Fortnites and the Minecrafts and the Robloxes. Like, I could see that audience eventually being this is how we play games now. But me, you, Crash, anyone probably listening to this podcast, if we're being totally honest, there's no way we're adapting just that. It's going to be to me, it's more a secondary console. I know it's not, but like it's I really want to play Unpacked. I'll go play it on the TV for convenience sense, because I don't want to be sat at my desk. But it won't ever be, I'm going to play Gears of War 17 and I'm going to play it on this TV because I want the best experience.
Yeah, I think it's more of a benefactor of ecosystem.
Matt disagrees. I can see it in his
Matt
eyes.
really disagrees.
I just think, 20 years ago, it would have seemed absolutely mad that we were watching 4K movies, let alone streaming 4K movies. And in 10 years' time, 15 years' time, I agree with you, it's a pain in the ass when your internet service provider goes down, but you're not going out and buying Stranger Things on DVD in case your internet service provider goes down. You're not.
You just watch it on your phone.
That's what I do.
Sure. So cloud game on your phone. We'll have 6G in 15 years' time. And
5G?
No. I disagree with that because it's a completely different setup. If you're switching from your phone to having your TV set up with your controller connected and everything and having that big monitor.
Hotspot your phone to your TV. So your TV has the internet.
I do that now. When my internet goes down, I do that now.
I think that is a smart idea, Matt. I don't think there's ever a point in time where a hotspot will be able to stream a game. In the next 100 years, I do not think hotspot will.
Nah, you're so wrong. Nah, you're so wrong.
100 years remind me.
No, in 100 years,
100 years,
man.
100 years, yeah. 100 years is incredibly excessive, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like in the foreseeable future, I don't see the ability to stream.
With inflation the way it is, that in 100 years, that pizza will be worth 75 billion Bitcoin.
That's facts.
And I will take it.
And don't forget about the NFT.
Companies are stingy, man.
Don't forget about the NFT. The NFT is important. That pizza NFT, super important.
We haven't talked about NFTs in a while.
Why? Why just gotta bring up Why? We've been so good. No NFT talk. No
Guys, I'm not gonna lie.
NFT.
Huh? How interesting.
What?
The Zencast has not recorded my voice, but don't worry, it's not a big deal. Bro, my master plan's happening right now as we speak.
What?
That's why I was on holiday for 4 days. I wasn't actually on holiday. It was a plan to turn my Xbox and Me episodes into NFTs. It's an NFT podcast now.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I want you to know we're also in the metaverse as we speak.
This is my last episode of my Xbox and Me, guys. It's been a fun run.
Damn.
I'll leave the NFT to Matt Fix.
Because this is your last episode, though, it's the most valuable NFT we currently have.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going back to get the Ross Miller NFT when he left.
That'd be worth fortune.
That's worth ridiculous amounts. It's ridiculous amounts. Is there anything else we've been playing? Or
I played a game that I've wanted to talk on this podcast for a very, very long time. Me and Fix have talked about wanting to talk about it on this podcast for so long. Digimon Survive.
Oh my god.
You couldn't even get through it without giggling.
No.
Yeah.
I forgot this come out. I haven't seen Danone.
Yeah.
Has he messaged you? I'll probably Ant messaging you at this point, right?
Yeah, Ant messaged me in the Discord asking how it was.
Is it good?
It's good. I like it. I enjoy it. I think it's a really good story. The strategy gameplay aspect of it, not amazing. It's not bad by any means, but it just sort of, it's there. It does the job. It has all the features you would basically think, but none of the added stuff that you would like from strategy games, right? It is way more visual novel than it is strategy game as well. So there's a lot of reading. They have a lot of voice acting, but all the voice acting is Japanese. So
me and Matt are too similar. If you're not watching the video version, Chris said reading. Me and Matt both just put our thumbs down at the same time.
Yeah. All in all, I enjoy it. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I'm still I don't know how long the game is, but I feel like I'm still early on in the game. Like I haven't gone too deep into it. But I don't see the strategy aspect changing too much about it. But I do really enjoy the game so far.
Well, I'm happy for you because I know this game got
Thank you.
delayed. I know this game has taken a while to come out. I'm happy that you have it. I'm happy it makes you happy. That's my new thing. I want my friends to be happy.
You're happy that they're happy. I like that.
Yeah, I want my friends to be happy.
You know what that made me think of? The thumbs down reading thing. How have Microsoft or somebody not yet developed an app that just does like the Cortana voice, but just reads all the text that's on screen? That feels like that would be. I mean, we always say it's not as easy as.
I would assume that the difficulty is the actual like words would be in the code, and that would be in the game, and so the system would need to interact with the coding of the game, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, and there could be ways that the game could provide something like that. On top of that, like the words, like you could theoretically, I assume, get it to read the words off of the screen, but the words appear in different spots. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot more complicated than just.
I've got to be honest. It never works as well as it should either. Like even like the accessibility like text to speech and things like that. So I've used them sometimes for games thinking, oh, that will help me. And it's just like saying things I'm like, as a dyslexic, it's not every word that I can't read. So it then becomes annoying when it's like, enter door. Sure. And you're like, I know how to read enter door, motherfucker. Get out of the way. You know? So, sure. Yeah.
That's one of the things that like, you just assume is like, oh, it's easy, just read the text, and it just doesn't work out that simply, unfortunately.
All I'm saying is that we're living in the future, right? I can go to Spain, point my camera phone at a sign that I don't understand, and it can read it to me in English. Like, figure it out, Microsoft.
Why didn't I use that when I was away?
I don't know, but you should have.
I didn't even know you could do that.
No, I knew you could do that because Japan. And I've seen people like 10 tips for when you're going to Japan. Have this app ready. Make sure you've got data. Like, yeah. Trust me.
It's Google Lens does it.
Ah.
Does it? So you used it. Does it work with everything you've done it with?
I've only ever really used it as like a gimmick.
Got it. Because I was wondering if there's points where you try and use it to read something and something about it, be it the color of the background or the color of the text or the way the stylization of the text, that it just doesn't work.
I'm sure there's plenty of examples.
Because I think that would also be some of the issues with like gaming, is like sometimes text is very stylized.
How cool would it be though if like a game had like a companion app, and like, you know how we all hate companion apps, but it had that, and like it was a game with like languages on the walls and stuff, and and when you put your phone up again with the companion app, it like gave you information that was like deeper lore. That would be sick. Cool. That would be really cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely zoned out to what you're saying. All I was companion app on the wall, more lore. I tried following along too late, and I got more confused to what was being said.
Oh, Christ! I do that all the time, but I don't admit to it. I just say, yeah, I agree. Oh, somebody clip that up. Do you know what? I don't even want to do news this week. We're at an hour.
Wow.
We'll do news next. We'll do news next week. This has been a good conversation.
Wow.
We're not going to do we'll do a couple of questions before we leave, though. So this is Fix a Stack. Remember, you can email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter, #MXAM. You can hit us up on Twitter at MCFixer, at MattPVideo, at CrushNitPlays. First question comes from Wheelie Average, who says, given the KOTOR indefinite delay and Xbox reportedly turning down the game previously, did Phil and the crew see the writing on the wall for the remake that might never come out? #MXAM. Yes.
No.
Okay.
Because then like, my whole thing is like, if they saw the writing off the wall for this, then you'd have to assume that, like, cause the rumor for this was that this happened around the same time that the Spider-Man, the whole thing with them turning down Spider-Man happened. You'd have to be assuming that they saw the writing on the wall for Spider-Man.
Gosh, I was just trying to be argumentative.
Got it.
No, I don't think so. I think this is just a case of it's one of those ones, isn't it? It's game development's hard. Has it been the rumor is that they saw it before PlayStation and turned it down? I didn't hear that rumor.
The rumor is that they were approached for it. For KOTOR, similar to the way that they were approached for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they turned it down. It would have been a similar time period, which I assume the reasoning would be the same, in that they want to work on their in-house properties instead of
guys
properties.
How'd you turn down Spider-Man? I know we've spoken about it before. How'd you turn down Spider-Man? You can't. That's not what happened, surely.
They turned down a Marvel game.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever rumored that it was Spider-Man, and I'd be surprised if it was, because I feel like
Sony's
in Sony's pocket.
Yeah.
I think they turned down a Marvel game, which
That
may
makes
have been
sense.
Guardians or Wolverine, maybe, I don't know, but
Black Panther.
It was Spider-Man.
I don't think it could have been.
Spider-Man.
Sony is holding on to Spider-Man so incredibly tightly.
Sony doesn't have a say on the game. Sony only has a say on the game because they made a deal for it.
No, I think Sony.
No,
own
Sony doesn't.
Spider-Man
No, this
multimedia IP.
No, they don't.
I'm pretty
Why
sure
do people always say this? They do not. They only own the movie rights.
I don't know.
They do not own anything, because the game rights were with Activision, and then Activision, it relapsed on Activision, and it went back to Marvel.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Matt's defeated. He won't have it. To answer the actual question, no, I don't think it is a div film. No, I don't think so. I think it's more, if I'm not joking around, it's more just a case of, like Chris said, they were at the time, and maybe not. I don't know when this happened per se, but they're trying to build their first party, which they are doing in a huge way. Them dealing with KOTOR and it not being fully exclusive, or being a timed exclusive, or just having the marketing rights right now distracts from what Xbox is trying to do, to be honest with you. So that's probably why they turned it down.
Honestly, just imagine, like, with some of the issues that Xbox has been having with some of its first parties and coming out. And a lot of it has been, some of it's been minuscule with some delays with, like, Redfall and Starfield. But then we've also seen stuff with the Initiatives game. Imagine how that would look if they were like, yeah, we'll take on Spider-Man, and yeah, we'll take on KOTOR and all this other stuff. How many of that stuff, would be in the mixing pot, so to speak, right now, and how much of that stuff would be a complete mess, because they're sort of spreading themselves too thin, working on stuff that they don't own as well.
The other thing that I saw I think his name's Combry on Twitter, like an Xbox. I don't know if he's the insider or just like a proper fan or something like that. Like, I see him very much talking about Xbox all of the time, and he was talking about. Did you see that they announced the what's it called, Grounded release date? And they just
no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they just did it like out of the blue in a little press release. They haven't tweeted about it. They haven't nothing. And he was saying in his thread, I was reading it. It was like, why did Xbox do this? And they do this. They've done this quite a bit lately. It's like the marketing department and like the development department are just not in unison right now. And I feel like stuff like I know it's a bit of a stretch, but like KOTOR and stuff like that, and some of the other marketing deals that we've seen them drop the ball with, losing Call of Duty and things like that. Like, I do feel like marketing needs to figure out Xbox's marketing right now. Other than, I'm not talking about just Game Pass. Obviously, we understand that Game Pass is marketed heavily. But when it comes to marketing their games, I've said this time and time again. We go to the cinema, what do you see? PlayStation ad, PlayStation ad, PlayStation ad, PlayStation ad. Like, they need to figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
Do you think Grounded, like, ad would work? Because I think the people who would be interested in Grounded already are, and I think that's who that blog post was, or for whatever it was. It was the people who are actively playing Grounded and who are actively following it.
I respectfully disagree, though, because to me, it's just like you're putting out a game. Yeah, it was in early access, but you've made a game. It's a first party exclusive. Launch it in Game Pass with a story, and when it was announced, oh my god, Honey, It Shrunk the Kids, it had like a very big movement for it, and now it's just like, Yeah, the game's finally out.
But to be honest, I think most early access games fall into that category. I think very few early access games get that sort of big second marketing push. Even if you look at like something like Dead Cells, and even Hades got this sort of reinvigoration on their full release. That was because I think people started officially reviewing it, which a lot of companies don't even do anymore. Most of them will start reviewing it on early access now. And then B, because it is the finalized version of that product, that the people who like it finally start talking about it more, and you get that word of mouth aspect, which we've talked about before, that sort of just helps sell those games.
I got you.
But I do agree in general. I do feel like Xbox is lacking in the marketing department for a lot of their stuff, but I think that partly goes hand in hand with they don't really have much to show other than Game Pass right now.
True.
I think once we start getting initiative games and Starfield and Redfall and start getting a whole bunch of those games, like how does their marketing look then? I think that's when you can sort of start picking it apart if it needs major improvement. Because their marketing for Game Pass is brilliant. It's really, really good. People always talk about Game Pass. They're clearly doing something right in the marketing department.
Okay. Next question comes from BT Maverick 707, who says, "Happy belated cake, Mr. Fixer and Sir Matt P." Thank you. Also, what's up, Crash? A big topic of discussion this week is the price hike on MetaQuest 2, tacking on $100 to the overall price. Do you think this will encourage the other consoles to do the same with the supply shortages? Your thoughts on and which console can get away with this? Also, I'm super jacked. Just found out my Steam Deck is ready to ship and on its way. Corey, the gaming butcher.
Happy days. Congratulations for getting a Steam Deck.
It's weird that I thought about getting one and then I had that experience on the plane with the Switch and I was like, no, do not do this, Fixer. Do not do this.
I was and ahhing, like, I played with one in the office. Somebody had one and I was like, oh, this is cool. Maybe I want this. Do I want this? I don't know. And then I got the Kishi and I was just like, this does what I want it to do.
Yeah.
This is enough.
If I were to get a Steam Deck, it would just become an emulation machine for me to run some older games.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Nah, not interested in emulation. Too much hard work. Ain't nobody got time for that, you know?
It's fair.
It's not that hard work.
I could never figure it out for OG Resident Evil 2, so I gave up.
I could walk you through it one day on Discord.
I 100% think that you could probably play that in a browser somewhere at this point.
Yeah, but that's
probably
not
on a website somewhere.
I don't like doing that.
Just buy a Tesla. You can play it on your Tesla.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'll go out and buy one right now. Like, why wouldn't I? No, I don't think either of the console manufacturers are going to price hike. No way.
MetaQuest's price hike, I don't think has anything to do with supply shortages. I think it's they lost their biggest marketable value on the MetaQuest 2, and that is user data, because you do not have to have Facebook connected to it anymore. And that is the probably biggest money-making portion of MetaQuest, I would assume. And so they are losing a large amount of their profit by disconnecting that.
I'm a little bit out of the loop on all this stuff. Why have they decided that?
Because people kept complaining about it.
So, okay, so it was a case of like them being like, look, we've done what you wanted, but you're going to pay for this.
They didn't try to connect the two things, and Crash is...
Yeah. Well, of course not.
It's me putting on a tinfoil
hat, yeah.
Because they haven't said it, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me, because this announcement comes after that. That announcement was a while ago. I think the best way for them to do it was like, hey, we're going to disconnect it, but because of that... But then they'd have to admit, like, we use your information and sell it, which is like,
of course they do.
Any company wants to say, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they just don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, Microsoft does it. You use Xbox products, Microsoft's selling your data or using their data internally, because Microsoft has so many different divisions that they're still profiting off of it in some sort of way. It's just not good looks to be like, hey, we're gonna stop selling your data, but you guys gotta pay us more.
$100 for that luxury, people. $100.
Well, they should have offered two different versions.
One with Facebook, one with that. Nice.
You also get Beat Saber thrown in now.
Ooh.
Did I tell you what?
Their thing.
Did I tell you what Haley did?
What?
She annoyed the hell out of me. I was very upset. So on the Quest, you have your main account, and you buy all your games through the main account, and then everyone who's a user on it can use the games. She bought Beat Saber on her account. So I can't play Beat Saber. So now I've got to buy it again. I was fuming. I was so angry. No. I want to.
Can you switch her account to be the main account?
No, I'm not doing that either. It's my bloody quest. Get the hell out of here.
Even if that was an option, Fix absolutely no way on earth would.
No, I bloody well wouldn't. I want my MetaQuest stuff there, meaning my VR porn, and then I want my games next to it. All right.
All together.
What do you think I've done more, VR porn or play games on the MetaQuest?
I don't want to answer that question.
I respect it. Smart move. Next question, and we'll end on this one. Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier, sorry, this is from Original Cookie Man. Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier has published an article detailing Rockstar Studios' changes to the management culture. One section in particular stood out to me. Quote, developers are also being cautioned not to, quote, punch down by making jokes about marginalized groups, the people said, in contrast to the previous games. I've noticed this shift to be evident in the handling of racism within Red Dead Redemption 2. This culture issue that would affect characters within Dutch's gang during the time period is acknowledged in some subtle but significant ways. Some missions take advantage of the
prejudices.
Thank you. I was looking at it like, I see juices. Prejudices of NPCs in clever, yeah, that's how I do things, people. In clever or innovative ways, and in the world itself, you can stumble across the KKK meeting in the woods. In both scenarios, you don't pass judgment or make jokes. The game remains neutral and lets you decide how Arthur Morgan will react to the world. This feels more mature and nurtured way to tackle sensitive topics in their worlds than in some of their previous games, aka San Andreas, GTA 4, Ballad Game Tony. What are your thoughts? So I think the big thing right now that I've seen online is like, Rockstar have gone woke. Rockstar are now a woke company. How could Rockstar do this to us? And
yeah, that paired with the female main protagonist that they announced, or is
not announced, leaked, rumored. Yeah. So for those who don't know, GTA 6 is going to have we don't know, but we assume it's from what we if you don't want to know anything about the game, I guess spoilers, because we think this is pretty much confirmed. It's like a Bonnie and Clyde type duo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the conversation right now is, they've gone woke. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said this on the podcast last time we spoke about Rockstar, which Rockstar are one of the best game developers in the world, bar none. I didn't. Maybe I'm just not smart enough to think about things, and I'm pretty dumb, so I get it. I remember that KKK thing, and I never stumbled across it myself, but I thought it was so interesting to know they were even in the world. I just don't. I can't really. It's so hard to talk about without, having to put yourself in other people's shoes. Because I was about to say, I've never really noticed the punching down, but then maybe I wouldn't have, because San Andreas, for me, I was playing when I was a kid. Yeah. GTA 4 was about Nico, who is Russian, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think they ever give a...
Oh, okay. So I wouldn't notice those groups for the time when I was playing. GTA 5 is one of my favourite games of all time. I play GTA, as you know, now I play GTA Roleplay. So I hear the dialogue of some of these characters. To me, I've never noticed it as such in like a big way, but that's probably because it just doesn't affect me. So hearing them maturing and stuff like that, to me sounds like they just got better at writing and they got better at giving players agency. Again, I could be totally wrong. And I'm happy to hear, because I read some more of this Jason Schreier stuff about like the frat boy mentality, that stuff. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about stuff that happens inside game development and management and things like that. I'm talking strictly about the game. Yeah. Like that's what I'm trying to talk about here. So please do not get the two confused and think that I'm okay with people being treated a certain type of way at work, because I'm not. Like how you treat people at work should be with decency and humane and not racist, sexist, bigotry, whatever. Like, do not get the two confused. But I don't remember. I don't remember seeing something or feeling something in GTA and being like, oh, that affected me in a certain type of way.
I think it's because you go into GTA with the mentality of GTA is going to be what it is and very crude humor.
Interesting.
But for some people, when it revolves around them, that crude humor becomes offensive. And from what I'm reading, that sounds like what they're going to step away from. But Origin Cookie Man brings up Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't think it's ever really been that big of an issue in Red Dead Redemption. Is my thing. I don't think that is an example of them stepping away from something. I think it's always been more into GTA, and even in GTA, I would say it's more of a GTA 5 thing, with their treatment of like trans characters and stuff like that. Like GTA 5 does have GTA 5 does have bits that pop up into it.
Yep.
But it's sort of like, how will they do GTA 6 and how does it approach into that game and going forward, their ideas in that. I like, 'cause it's always been done to a humorous effect, so I could see people playing it and never really seeing it as a problem because in their mind it's a joke and it's not actually harmful to anybody, right?
Here's my question. Yeah, like, so my gang in GTA roleplay is, I was part of GSF, so we were on Grove Street all of the time, right? On Forum Drive. The characters go around there, they're saying the N-word, they're talking about, Shaniqua and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And we take the mickey out of it all the time because we hear the dialogue so much, right? How do you make fun of stuff like that without it being offensive anymore? Like, are you allowed to make jokes? And again, I'm not trying to say this in an attacking way to anybody. Like, I'm actively trying to have a conversation about it so I can understand more. Because it's like, if it's a joke or a satire, how and I think this is what comedians are probably dealing with right now. It's like, how are you allowed to make fun of groups of people? I don't care, white, black, gay, trans, mixed race, whatever. Like, how do you do it in the right way nowadays?
By not bullying people and saying it's just a joke, bro.
Yeah, okay,
that's really what it is. I think you can construct something as a joke that involves people, but there's a punchline at the end or some bigger like sort of image. That,
so it's better lead up and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, where a lot of people and a lot of comedians who have gotten by with it in the past, sort of, it really is just them punching down and bullying groups of people and all this stuff. And in the past, there's a lot of like really interesting videos you can watch on it and stuff like that where humor that was popular in the past isn't as popular because we don't view bullying in the same way or the mentality around it. And so the people who bully in general are more of a minority or they stand out more today than they did before.
Yeah.
And so that humor doesn't hit because less people find it funny.
Yeah.
And so really the answer is don't be a bully, write something that's actually funny.
Yeah, don't be a dickhead. Yeah, but it's... By the way, I like having these conversations because I like to learn. That's why we have these conversations. The problem with, I guess, what you said is right side of funny is subjective, right?
Sure, but there's a certain point where like something you say is just me. Like
yeah. No,
it's funny.
I'm with you.
I can see somebody fall down the stairs and it can be the funniest thing to me because that's my friend and I know them and they look like a stupid person.
Yeah.
But they might have broken their leg and somebody's like, why are you laughing? That's not funny. And like, realistically, it's not funny.
Kind of is, though.
There's an inside joke going there because it's my friend and there's sort of this inside connection or whatever.
I see you fall down the stairs, I'm laughing. I'm letting you fucking know right now, I'm laughing. If you break a leg, I'm going to laugh even more and then be like, fuck, let's get to the hospital.
But this also goes into a fact of like inside jokes and jokes that are viewed by the whole world should be written and done differently.
Gotcha.
Because like if I make a joke with you, be it we could talk about race or a joke or about whatever, because you know me, you understand my intent.
Yes.
When I introduce it to the whole world, intent is irrelevant, and it is what you are saying. And if what you're saying is purely bullying, a lot of people are going to see and laugh at it purely for the fact because you're bullying somebody.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're like,
and I think,
please.
I was going to say, I think Rockstar, and I'm sure there are plenty of examples where this isn't the case, and you could clip out stuff from Rockstar games and go, this is not okay. But Rockstar,
of course,
I think, have always done a pretty good job of punching up, right? Like they have elements of parody in their game where they are essentially attacking one person, right? There's a character in GTA 5 that is almost just an amalgamation of like Steve Jobs.
Yeah, Steve Jobs. Yeah, yeah.
Right? And so like to the point where they look like him or whatever, and it's so obvious what they're trying to do, and they are attacking essentially one person. They are bullying one person. They are making fun of one person. But it's that punch up mentality. Like in GTA 6, I'm sure there will be a Trump parody character, right? Like that'll be so obviously Trump. And yeah, again, it's that like punching up mentality, and yeah.
So he's punching up, okay?
Well, that's what they're saying, right? That they're no longer. Well,
they're no longer punching. They're no longer trying to punch down. So if you're, again, I'm more just trying to have the conversation here. I don't know what I think. I'm trying to. But so if you're rich and famous, it's okay to punch you. But if you're poor and down, we can't punch you.
No, you shouldn't just make fun of people because they're rich and famous. You make fun of people because of their ideas.
Because of their ideology. Cool.
Because there's like hypocrisy. There's stuff you can make fun of. There's like clear hypocrisy
I'm all for
and stuff like that. You can make jokes on. Yeah.
I'm down to make fun of everyone.
That's what GTA does. GTA like takes people and puts them to their extremes.
Yes.
Which is fine. I think that's absolutely fine because that is what GTA does. The problem becomes where GTA is not taking a character and putting them to an extreme, and they're just taking the stereotypes of the character.
My thing is,
if you take
some of my favorite characters are the crackheads that you see walking along the street. I still want to see crackheads walking along the street because I see crackheads walking along my streets. So I don't want then that to not exist because people have drug addictions. Like, well, obviously we know that, and we're not. That's not what we're not. We don't agree. Do you get what I'm trying? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Like, I don't want GTA to lose what GTA is because which I don't think it's going to. By the way, I'm just trying to form an idea here. Where I'm like, I don't want. I said this last time we spoke. Where I'm like, GTA is the only game company out there that I feel like they do. I do agree. They definitely have punched down, like you said, trans characters and stuff like that. They've got that wrong, right? But yeah, like Matt said as well, they've punched up as well. So it's like, where is that middle ground of like it just being thing? It's a game, you know.
It's also like, how do you frame the joke?
That's the important part.
So when you say like maybe they punched down a trans character or whatever, are they doing that, or are they showing an interaction where this character who's talking to this trans character is clearly wrong?
Yes.
Like they are fucked up. Like that, like they're doing the wrong thing, and we're laughing. Sorry, not my mic. We're laughing at that person being an idiot and saying the wrong thing, as opposed to laughing at the trans character, right?
Like, tell me why. I remember the interaction at the start of Tell Me Why, where you're like, you're looking at this guy just being like, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, but I think that's the emotion they want you to have. Which is like, this guy is such a fucking idiot. Like,
it's kind of difficult because like when you're talking about a marginalized group and a group that gets really bullied, it's kind of hard to like distinguish the point where you're making a joke and a satire involving around them, and then you're just bullying them, and you're just sort of dragging them down. And I think that's what Rocksteady is trying to like.
Rocksteady's like, yo, we made Batman, fam. What do you mean? what do you mean, fam? We made Batman. Leave me alone, man.
It is like, because you're correct, Matt. Like, they could 100% do a joke like that, but then what happens when all the wrong people are laughing at that and taking the wrong message from that?
100%.
And I think that's 100%. Something you have to be conscious of as well. Not necessarily that it's not on Rockstar to fix that, but I don't think there's a problem if Rockstar's looking at those situations. Like, maybe we could write that better, where that can't be something you can take from it. Where you can't make the transphobic, racist, whatever you want, and turn them into the good guy in that situation.
Yes, absolutely. And I think what it does do occasionally as well, and not always, but a lot of the time, Rockstar Games puts you in the shoes of that minority, right? So like in Ballad of Gay Tony, or I had another example in my head, and now I can't remember it. You're playing the immigrant, right? You're playing that guy who's new to that place, and often the guy who's getting berated for that or whatever. But they make that person the hero of the thing, and so it's about
the villain,
or the villain, sure, maybe.
I mean, that's depending on how you like. I guess it's perception, right?
Yeah.
This is what I was about to say. Is Michael and Trevor and fucking what's his name? Jesus. Who owns the dog? I can't remember his name. Guys, help!
Michael, Trevor.
Wait, what's his name? Michael, Trevor, and not CJ. It's CJ's cousin. Franklin. Thank you. They're not the good. They're not the good guys. They're not the good guys of that game.
Well,
they're trying to survive the situations they're put in.
Franklin is the hero of that story.
No, that's. I didn't say that. I didn't say he wasn't the hero. I said he wasn't the good guy.
Okay.
And it's like that's the one thing GTA doesn't do a good job of. GTA does not do. GTA should have a way that you can go through every single mission without killing people. Then you'd really have the line. No, of course it's not. But I'm saying,
and like, I think once you do that, if that's something they try to do, then the crackhead becomes a problem on the street because then they're trying to make a statement. And once you're trying to make a statement, you start picking apart of all the issues in it. Because I think the thing with GTA right now is that they create a world for you to role play in.
Yeah.
You're not really role playing the way you do, but you are playing through.
You are role playing, yeah.
Playing through Trevor or whatever it is. Yeah. And you're experiencing that world as it is. There are some stuff that are overtuned that can be tuned down a bit to fall more in line with that world and not be outliers of like, that's just a little bit crazier. That's not realistic to this world or whatever.
Yeah.
That just feels like it feels wrong. And I'm sure that even when you talked about punching up, there are situations with punching up that can probably be toned down a little bit as well, where they go a little bit overboard with it, right? And so it's just sort of finding that balance of where the role play all fits in. The second you're like, okay, well then we're gonna give you a moral situation in every point, and then that's the point where you're going across the street and you're like, why did they just have a crackhead acting like a crackhead, on the street that sort of is satired or like knocked put up a notch? That's where that becomes a problem.
But that's what I'm talking about when you like frame a joke, right? You could easily have a mission in GTA that is about there being too many crackheads on the street, but the conclusion of that mission is the healthcare system is fucked and you have to go in and deal with that or whatever, like it's how you cascade and frame that thing that you're going to make fun of. I think it's very complex. And I think Rockstar do a pretty good job of it. And I'm sure there are plenty of examples, like I said, that you can clip where they have not done a good job.
Of course. But I feel like you could say that about everything.
Yeah, exactly. But if the intention is to get better, then great. And it always is.
I was going to say, I think the best part is like they came out and they said, we're going to try to do better.
Yeah.
Right?
Good conversation, boys. I learned something. Let's plug and get ourselves out of here this week, boys. Matt, what you got to plug this week, man?
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that bell. I know I haven't streamed the last 2 weeks, but hopefully next week will be Power Wash Simulator with the boys.
Yeah, I'm in.
And the week after that will be this thing that I've been playing.
Multiverses. Oh, never mind.
Oh, or multiverses. One or the other. But yeah, well, I want to play multiverse with you, Crash, though. So we need to figure out a time and day that we can do that.
Yeah. I can do any Monday.
Okay.
Just not next Monday when you guys do Power Wash Simulator.
Don't say you guys. You're in, Crash. If it's full play, you're in.
What?
Oh.
We'll talk about it.
Crash, what you got to plug?
Leave a review on podcast services.
We know there's loads of you that haven't, yeah? We know. Yeah. We see the numbers. We know.
I know some of your mothers, grandmothers, your nieces, your nephews, your brothers, your sisters, your spouses. I know some of them haven't left reviews. And if you have access to their phone, I count it as you haven't left reviews. Some of you guys have like 5 reviews that are missing. And I just check up for them all the time. They're just not there.
It's true.
You know what you need to do? I know we've established that it's Jesus, not Jesus. But ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Okay? And we know. He's reviewed the podcast 25 times.
Yep.
On his great-great-granddaughter's niece's phone. So what would Jesus do?
Yeah,
Jesus would review the podcast. He would review the podcast.
Jesus would review the podcast. If you look in the Bible, somewhere in there's a review for my Xbox.
I guarantee you there's a scripture there that says, "Liar shall review my Xbox and Me podcast on every device that exists." Yeah. Amen.
There's something in there we can excuse.
I bet you I could find a script. Maybe I'll find a scripture for next week and see how I can. That seems like one ticket to hell, though. Maybe not. Yeah, I've got a video coming out on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to announce the thing I'm doing with Intel. I'd really would appreciate if you guys could go and drop a like on that, retweet it, drop a comment. I don't care if it's an emoji. I don't care if it's a GIF. I don't care if it's some nice text saying congratulations. Please go and support the posts. That's how we can keep doing this show. That's how we can keep the lights on. That's how we can keep doing what it is we do. That's how one day I'll be able to make Crash rich.
One day.
Probably not.
Podcast. Once I get rich,
podcast. Along those lines, I would say join the Discord because Fix always drops the tweets in there, and then you can't get lost. You can't find it.
I've made an announcement tab.
Oh, okay.
To stop clogging up the general tab, which I know, like, I've made an announcement tab. I was like, I'm gonna be at everyone. That's the announcement tab from now on. Like, yes, please. Cool, boys. Until next time, it's been a pleasure. I've missed you guys. Until next time, I love you. Leave it. See you later. Good boys.
Bye bye.